Going on, YouTubers, gamers and hobbyists? Welcome to I am a Wargamer video response challenge thingamajiggy started by Wargamer Viking. Now what he did was he answered these 5 questions, which I'll put all this in the description below as well. He answers 5 questions about YouTube and then he tags 3 other channels to do the same. So I'll leave a link to that in the description below as well. And then what happens is the people he tags, they make a video answering the same questions. They tag 3 other people within the community, and so our community, it grows. We get a nice big shout out for everyone come the end. Right, so I was tagged by the Lone Ranger. Thanks, Carl, thank you very much for that. So what I'm going to do is I've written these out on paper here. Excuse me. Right, because my memory is not a great thing. So pen and paper tool, or pen and pencil actually. So first question then for me is, what inspired you to do YouTube? And the answer to that is quite simple: Mini Wargaming. If you've not heard of them, I'll put a link to them in the description below as well, just in case, because I do have some people that watch my channel that are only mildly into wargaming and they're not really into it as much as that. So I'll put a link to them in just so you can see what I mean. Now I got into watching them, what got me into the hobby that's another story entirely, but I had my demo game of Warhammer 40k in my local Games Workshop store. I had the demo game, and then there was someone that was saying, I mean, obviously I had the game and I'm like none the wiser as to how you play it. But there was someone saying, look, if you want to learn how to play the game better, it's good if you watch battle reports on YouTube. I'm like, what the heck's battle reports? And, you know, people film the battles of their games. Like, right, okay, I'll give it a go. And obviously up pops Mini Wargaming, and I was hooked instantly. And the guys they got working for them, at the time they had it, you know, obviously they got Matt and Dave, obviously, because they're the owners. They had Dan, Owen, Jay. I think that was the only, and then you know, other people here and there. But I liked their personalities, and I thought, I want to be them. I want to do that. Obviously, you know, it's a bit of an illusion to think, oh, I could do that for a living. But they had an online store as well, which closed down, and they went on to just making videos. And then on their website, they had a thing called the Vault, which you could join. You could see like all the extra stuff. And I found it was good quality and good value for money, because it really isn't much at all. So I signed up, and then I have had access to all this stuff and painting tutorials, and you know, really, really good high-end quality stuff. So that's what got me into it, Mini Wargaming, and why I wanted to do a YouTube channel, because it's the next best thing for me. Really, I could do that. Right, where do you want your channel to go? I would just like my channel to continue to evolve as it is, really, because it's evolved quite a bit since I started, and it's continuing to evolve because I'm continuing to experiment with different things, different ways of uploading video editing techniques, how I export videos, what file format, and how I upload it, all that kind of stuff. So where can you see it in 5 years' time? Well, I have honestly no clue what's going to happen in 5 years' time. I might not even be here in 5 years' time. The world might have ended in 5 years' time. I don't know. YouTube might have had a massive breakdown and become something else by then. I don't know. So honestly, I don't know. Where I'd like to see it in 5 years' time is a lot better than it is now, obviously, as it's continued to evolve over the years. I've only been doing it a couple of years, so that's relatively new in terms of some of you out there. Some of you I know have been doing YouTube right from the start, so you know I can't make claim to that. But I'd like it gradually, because I still have plans to get, you know, better equipment and all this kind of stuff, and get better at doing stuff, because I'm doing the courses and all that kind of thing. Which brings me on to any advice for setting up a YouTube channel. Well, adjust my camera there. Right, for me, setting up a YouTube channel, it looked like fun, and for me it was fun. So you're doing it primarily for fun, I would imagine, unless you have other more serious intentions. So obviously decide what you want your channel to be about. That'd be a piece of advice, whether it's about a specific thing, i.e. rock climbing, abseiling, cycling, or sports, or historical stuff, travelling, whatever it may be. General rambling, general goofing off, it doesn't matter. Decide what you want it to be about, what your niche is going to be, and then put that in the about section on the channel where it's got about. Always put a little description there, I think, because that's quite good. It gives you a good clue as to what it's about. Then the videos you make, organise them into playlists so that it's easier for people to navigate your channel. For instance, I could come across a great wargaming channel which looks really, really good. I mean, I wonder if he does painting tutorials. Let's look at his playlists. And if he's got playlists, there'll be something there saying painting tips or tutorials or this, that and the other. You go right on there and you can see what videos he or she has made regarding that subject. But if they don't have playlists, it could be, and if they're quite a well-established channel and they've got hundreds of videos, I'm not going to want to bother sifting through hundreds and hundreds of videos to try and find a painting tutorial about a specific thing. I ain't got time for that, so I won't. That's just the way it is. So organise your videos into playlists. That would be something. Now the equipment side of things, you don't need like top end gear. You don't need that. I started off with just my webcam. All you need really is a computer and one of these, a phone, and you can do perfectly good videos. But all I had to start with was a webcam. I then later bought a camcorder, but it was a cheap, really cheap one. It was like £25, reconditioned from eBay, and it was fixed focus, and it didn't have the motion stability thing, so it was all very shaky. But I did get myself a tripod, and because they're quite cheap, and so for about 40 quid I had a cheapy crappy camera, but it was a camera and it filmed, and a tripod of sorts. So I was able to make different types of films. So obviously you can't take your laptop out everywhere you go, but you can put a camcorder on the end of on the tripod, either hold it out in front of you or set it down and look at what you're doing, stuff like that. So that's how it is, and gradually you can increase your quality of stuff. I mean, stuff's quite cheap. It's coming down in price all the time. Technology is becoming so good and cheap that we're able to make videos on YouTube now that you couldn't have dreamed of years ago. Only a filmmaker could have done it, that kind of thing. So, and a whole production team. Now you can do it one man. Such is technology. But when you're looking at your equipment, try to prioritize sound on your videos. Like I'm using a lapel mic that I just tapped then, because I think sound is important. Because sometimes I can listen to videos just through my phone's in the pocket. I'm not even watching the screen, just through headphones or whatever, or it's just on in the background. So what's visually is not really important, but I need to be able to listen and hear what you're saying. If you've got bad sound, I can't quite hear. I need it up full blast to hear what you're saying. You speak quietly, and I can't quite hear what you're saying. That kind of thing. I'm not. It puts me off personally. That's just me. So I look for good sound, or as good as you can go. And then obviously lighting, content, etc. Anything else? Just looking at my list here. I'll use thumbnails because it looks nice, I think. And I think a little intro video when you first click on the channel is quite good because that gives a great insight. As long as it's not too long, nice and short, sharp editing on that one. And if you want to improve your video making and your channel, I thoroughly recommend signing up for the YouTube Creator Academy courses that they do, which is what I'm doing at the moment. Not obviously right this second, but I am I'm following their courses, and they got some great advice and information to help you make better videos. And lastly, have fun. That would be my absolute main thing. Don't lose sight of why you started a YouTube channel. Try not to turn it into I just want to get as many subscribers as possible. It's not about subscribers at the end of the day. I know it seems like it to start with, and it is a nice ego thing when you get subscribers. I mean, I was jumping up and down for joy when I got double figures first, but yeah, it focus when you become more into it. Try to focus more on the views rather than the subscribers. That would be my advice. So yeah. Anyway, last question. And then I'll go on to the honourable mention and free tag channels. Last question is, what would you add to improve a YouTube channel? I'll start again. What would you add to improve YouTube for the community? And that's easy. An ability to contact them. Make it so that you can contact YouTube. They need a help department, much in the way that eBay has. You ever tried contacting YouTube? It's a nightmare. It's a nightmare. Make it easier. Have hotlines, have email facility, one-on-one online live help desks, that kind of thing, like eBay have got. That's what YouTube needs, in my opinion. The ability to contact. You get all sorts of problems and issues. There's a problem with uploads. What's going on? Why have I got a copyright issue? That kind of thing. Coming copyright. That's a whole other issue altogether. But you need to sort these things out, and you can only do that by communicating. So, yeah. And like I say, it would help the community if we could have that facility. I think it would be invaluable. So that's that. Now on to the honourable mention. My honourable mention, and I'll put all the links for all this stuff in the description below. My honourable mention is Mel from the Terrain Tutor. The channel is called the Terrain Tutor. You must have heard of him. He's a great guy, Mel. I met him once at Salute this year, actually, I think it was. Super easy to talk to, lovely and down to earth, and what you see is what you get. What you see on his videos, that is him. He's not putting on a front or a face or anything like that. I mean, I don't think I do. I like to try and be that way. But some people are. It's a different face for the video. It's like putting on a mask, and and they do their videos and they take the mask off and they're someone else entirely. But he is, what you see is what you get. Very down to earth, a great guy, and the content is superb. Now I'll give him an honourable mention because although his channel is about terrain making and building, and I'll expand on that slightly in a minute, he is a wargamer. He does do wargaming. He obviously doesn't have a lot of time for wargaming at the moment, but going back to his terrain making, that information that he gives us is invaluable. It's priceless. The skill and the knowledge that man has about making terrain is second to none, in my opinion. I mean, I started looking at terrain and go, how do you build that? How on earth would I build that? How do I make rocks? How do I make a building look like that? How do I make these trees? And it's there. He's got it all there on his channel. It's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. I thoroughly recommend you go check him out. He's very popular. He's getting, way popular now. He's always been quite popular anyway, but he seems to have shot up recently. And good luck to him. He's absolutely brilliant channel. Can't recommend it enough. Okay, that's my honourable mention. Okay, so I'm going to move on to my first tag. My first tag is Mini Wargamer J, and I hope you see this, Jay. I'll message you anyway. Hopefully you can see this, and I know you're a very busy guy, but it'd be great if you could take part in this. It'd be absolutely wonderful. I'd love to hear your responses to these questions, really would, and your insights. He's called Mini Wargamer J. He used to work for Mini Wargaming, but he was called Mini Wargamer J on YouTube before he worked for Mini Wargaming, so that was his name anyway. So it's kind of easy for me to remember. I love his stuff. He's primarily into 40k. He does look at War Machine, and he's not against looking at other stuff occasionally. He's got great painting tips and tutorials. A lot of the stuff I've watched him, how he does it, how is the format of his channel, and I thought, oh, that looks great. I love the way he does that. For instance, his paint along videos, painting with Jay. I thought, that's great. I want to be able to do that. I want to do that. So I started on the bench with Pete, and I've shamelessly done that. I did it because he did it. Because there aren't enough videos out there like it. So I thought, I might not be brilliant at it, but I want to do it, and it is good because, as I've described in those videos, and as Jay will attest, they're good for A, making a video, and B, getting stuff done. So, and then C, other people can listen to them as well. But yeah, so he does loads of different stuff. He's good. I enjoy his filming techniques, the way he edits his videos. It's good. It's all good. So links will be in the video description below for all these tag channels, obviously. Right, my next tag is for a channel called JamJar34. Edward, my buddy. I love his enthusiasm for the hobby. It just gets me every time. It gets me pumped and motivated. And I love his Warhammer Sundays. And I just like listening to him. It's a fantastic channel to put on in the background while you're doing stuff. Just meander along with what you're painting, and it feels like he's there in the room with you. That's all I can say. It's great. So JamJar34, and then big swallow. Have my tea. Last of all, I want to nominate Hooves of Doom. Hooves of Doom. Because there's someone else that's really into their hobby. Just got a new hobby room sorted out. They move around a lot, but it's great. Oh, excuse me, I'm just going to shift my position a bit. It's good to see someone else whose wife is involved in his hobby, and he's into the fantasy side of things. So that's kind of an expansion as well. I like to, although I'm not into it yet currently. Age of Sigmar, that is something I will look at in the future, but for now I'm 40k. But the whole fantasy stuff is going to be invaluable for that, and I enjoy his insights into certain topics as well. He usually responds to the topic of the week that Vince Venturella does. So Hooves of Doom is my last one that I am tagging. So it's over to you guys now. Get your videos out there and tag your channels too. So let's keep this going. It's a good thing. And I'll see you guys on the next video. And bye for now.